Hey y'all, spiritual whistleblower here. It is Christmas Eve and I hope everybody's doing all right. I'm doing phenomenal. Let me just tell you real quick, earlier today I had a mammogram screening. Now, what I haven't shared with you guys, it wasn't this time last year. At some point last year, I had taken a mammogram examination and it had came up abnormal underneath my right arm. They had saw something there. So they made me come back and do additional screening, a ultrasound, a sonogram to get underneath the right, like right up underneath the right breast. They had saw something. So they said it came back negative, but for that they wanted to stay on top of me and keep testing me. So that's what happened today. I had to take two tests. I usually take one, which is the general basic mammogram screening, but they added on top of that a diagnostic test. So I did two today, and the doctor said both tests came back normal. So I said, "Hallelujah, praise God," because I'm going into my 50s. I know I don't look it. I look young in the face, but I need to be healthy, honey. My weight is down. I'm like 170 pounds. I'm 5'11". I'm looking good. My body's toned. Um, I had my physical done over the summer in August. So every kind of testing for my physical, my doctor sent me on every damn near everything. So I had a colonoscopy, an endoscopy to check my intestines and my colon for colon cancer. Um, my intestines, everything looks good. He told me I won't need to come back for another 10 years. So I was happy about that because the rate of young people getting colon cancer in their 30s and 40s is crazy to me. They got to lower the age now. The insurance companies would require you to wait until you're like mid 40 or older. They got to lower it to 30. Young people is getting colon cancer left and right because the shit they put in our food. So I was relieved about that. And the breast cancer was bothering me. I said, I do not want no issues with my breast. Okay. So, um, the only issues I have is I have arthritis in my knees because I'm constantly on my feet exercising. I had a sports injury. I had surgery on the left knee 10 years ago. So my knees, all that is sports injury related to me exercising. And so I am seeing a orthopedic surgeon. I get my steroid shots for my knees and I'm up dancing and very active. So that's probably the only issue I have. My knees is I have arthritis in my knees, y'all. Everything else, I'm going into 2025 with a clean bill of health. Hallelujah. Oh, I went to the OBGYN. I have my routine. Even though I'm sexually not active, once you get over 45, you don't have to see the gynecologist, but for every 2 years. So, everything checked out great with the OBGYN too. So, hey. And of course, y'all know my doctor also sent me to get tested for autism. And I made an announcement that I am, in fact, I've been clinically diagnosed with having Asperger's. I am autistic. That was like 3 weeks ago, I was diagnosed. So, whew, this mammogram was the last thing on my list. And it was crazy that they scheduled my appointment on Christmas Eve. So I take it as a sign from God that, best Christmas gift ever is to have a clean bill of health, honey, at my age. But anyway, how y'all doing? Happy Christmas Eve. Listen, I want to talk about these messy bitches in your family. The messy sister, the messy cousin, the female cousins, the messy ass aunties, nieces, god sisters. Listen, let's not play like they don't act like a group of mean girls. I can speak for my family, and I don't give a fuck if they're watching. I do not care. I don't give a fuck if these bitches sit up and call me bitter. They call me obsessed. They call me a hater. Bitch, fuck all of y'all. You cannot shut my fucking mouth. Because deep down in your heart, your asses haven't been right over the fucking years. Now, I'm not going to say all the women in my family because I have some good. I'll say my Aunt Tamara. If I love and respect any woman in my family, it would be my Aunt Tamara. Shout out Aunt Tamara. I love you. I'm going to tell you something about my Aunt Tamara. Aunt Tamara, she has 3 sons and a daughter. And the one thing I always respected about her, she never put focus. This is when I was a little girl because me and my brother would go over to her house and we would play with her children, our cousins, you know, Jamil and Latif and Joe. Nia was a little baby, but we would go play at her house. And me and my brother would never want to leave because my Aunt Tamara gave us the love, the nurturing that my mother did not give us. She let us be children. She let us play. I remember some of the positive memories I had of her was of her making pancakes. She would stay at that stove and cook. She would cook pancakes for like an hour. She would just make stacks and stacks. She did not believe in seeing children hungry. She said, y'all will never bother me. She just cooked pancakes for us around the clock. So all the kids, me and my cousins, that was one of the, she would pop popcorn. She would make gigantic, huge bowls of popcorn and we all would stay down in the living room and watch TV, me and my cousins. And we would go swimming in the backyard and riding on the bikes. You know, my Aunt Tamara allowed us to be children and she hugged and kissed. She was so fucking loving. And I respect her as a woman and a mother because today her children are all grown adults, but they're all tight knit. That's how you can tell she's a good parent. Because when your children are tight knit like that, it's a reflection of your parenting. She made sure her children love and support each other. She didn't play them against each other. She didn't make them jealous of each other. And that's why her children are tight knit. So out of all the women in my family, I have the most respect for my Aunt Tamara. I fucking love the shit out of her. She's a real woman. And I know she's beaten a few challenges in her life. You know, I won't speak on those things, but, you know, she's here and healthy. But she was a good fucking mother, amazing mother. Something my mother will never fucking be. My Aunt Tamara was more of a mother to me than my own fucking mother was. Now, the women in your family, honey, if you're like me and you were raised by a narcissistic mother and you have a lot of evil ass fucking family members on both sides, they gossip, they're fucking dysfunctional, they're toxic. If you were bullied, if you know, a lot of y'all, we got on the conversation the other day about neurodivergence. If you were autistic or you're walking around, you think you're autistic, you have not been diagnosed yet, and you suspect that you're autistic. And I already said, I said narcissists fucking bully the fuck out of autistic people. Just think of all the weird behaviors, things you did. You know, autistic children, they do all types of different things. They might stare. They might, you know, flap their hands and do different things. Coming up in my time, the elders, the baby boomers, they would sit there and say little shit. Oh, bless your heart. What's wrong with him? Why he's staring like that? Why? They would make these snide remarks, not realizing that the children are neurodivergent. They're undiagnosed and autistic. They're undiagnosed and ADHD. They have dyslexia, learning disabilities. Our parents did not get us evaluated and diagnosed, yet they were the main ones, along with family members, to talk shit about the weird shit that we would do because we were walking around undiagnosed. Painful, hurtful memories of being fucking bullied. That's my family. Both sides. Both sides. But I want to talk about the women, y'all. How many of y'all got a bunch of messy bitches in your family? Gossiping bitches. Bitches that have no business talking shit about nobody because they don't have their shit together. It could be your mama. It could be your sister, female cousins, aunts, god sister, nieces, you know. I call this the mean girl syndrome, and I'm going to get on the mean girls because mean girls are nothing more than narcissists. If you were in high school and you know what I'm talking about, High school was some of the most traumatic times to a lot of us. Okay, my memories of high school were totally horrible. I don't fuck with no. That's why I hate getting on Facebook, because I have people from high school trying to hit me up. Like, bitch, you didn't fuck with me back then. Why are you trying to connect with me now? And how do they find you? It's like they sniff you out on Facebook. I never announced what my fucking Facebook was, and here come motherfuckers from high school. I took my Facebook down, bitch. I don't want to be found by none of y'all. Y'all were absolutely assholes. Y'all were bullies and assholes in high school, but you know the mean girl cliques, the cheerleaders, the snobby girls, you know, that thought they were all that. They were nasty and mean spirited. They would sit together at lunch and gossip about everybody, pick on the nerds and the geeks and all that, and sleep with all the jocks and shit. Mean girls are mean spirited narcissists. That's all they are. They are highly narcissistic, okay? They love to gossip and tear down people. The whole thing is do as I say, but not as I do. They're allowed to talk about you, but God forbid if you talk about them, baby, they're gonna have a whole fucking hissy fit. They're hypocrites. Okay, they're allowed in their minds, they're fucking delusional. In their minds, they're allowed to be condescending. They're allowed to talk down to you. They're allowed to pick apart your outfit. They're allowed to body shame you and fat shame you. They're allowed to talk about, you know, your little studio apartment. They're classists, they're elitists, they're colorists. What else? Ableist, picking on disabled. Picking on, you know, in the black community, because I've witnessed my mother, my nana, my sister, my female cousins. They love talking about dark-skinned people with nappy hair. They love talking about other people's children. Nappy hair, you know, light skin is better than dark skin. That's my father's side of the family. My nana and all that, you know, always worried about somebody's hair texture and being light skinned. Light skin is better. Mixed children are better. And they all know they were guilty of sitting up and talking about people, talking about people's children, how ugly some people's children look. My mother and sister are real guilty of doing this. They could never say nothing to me today. I would cuss them both the fuck out. The mean girls have the motherfucking audacity. So when you have a family of these types of women in your family, baby, they will treat you like a fucking enemy. You will be treated like an outcast. You will be gossiped about. You will be smeared. You can't keep a man. They'll talk about where you live, who they think you're fucking, your baby daddy drama, how much money they think you make, where you work. If you're fat, they will fat shame you. If you're skinny, they will say you're on drugs. You look sick. If you're fat and you lose the weight, they'll have an issue with that. It's always something. It's never positive. If you stand up for yourself and you speak out against them, now it becomes an issue of you're jealous, you're envious, you're a hater. Oh my God, she's so obsessed with me. She just can't keep my name out her mouth. They'll spin it around. They're professional victims. They get to bully you for years, all throughout your childhood. And the moment you stand up for yourself, they go into victim mode. Mean girls in your family. I don't know if I told y'all, I might have told y'all this story. I told it on TikTok. I have a female cousin and I will never fuck with that bitch ever again. Ever. Ever. Piece of shit, bitch. Came to my house. Yeah, I live in a low income apartment in New York City. So what? The bitches that talk shit about me could never come here to New York City and make it. None of them can afford $2,000-$3,000 for a studio apartment. None of them would be making six figures, but they all talk shit about those of us that do know how to hustle and get it how we can get it. And for me, don't ever judge me about where I live or how I dress. I follow Bill Gates. Bill Gates looks poor. He dresses like a bum. He does not wear designer or name brand, and he does it on purpose to throw people off. Yet he has a lot of money in his bank account, doesn't he? See, that's how you know you're dealing with a narcissist, because narcissists are only consumed with the outside appearance. They're constantly worried about what people look like, and they will judge you just off of appearance. They're shallow. There's no substance. There's no depth inside of them. They're ignorant as fuck, stupid as fuck. So just because you're dressed down and you live in a certain neighborhood and your apartment is small, they assume you're a bum, you're a lowlife. Meanwhile, you got more money in your bank account than all of them combined. But see, they're shallow bitches. They got to wear designer. They got to be fake bougie. They all this and that. But they're fucking miserable. And if they're in relationships or married, they're not happy because their niggas is cheating on them and not treating them right. But they're not going to tell you that. They're just going to cling on to the nigga for the sake of their reputation. They don't want nobody thinking they can't keep a man. That's pick me behavior. So these types of women, mean girls in your family, they're all pick me's. My Nana is a fucking pick me. Stayed with my cheating ass granddaddy for like 50 fucking years. She wanted to control him, and I guess he wanted to control her, because ain't no fucking way my husband gonna have a baby on me and think, oh no, divorce. And my Nana is learning now that her legacy, she's on her way out. And she's left behind a really terrible legacy. Her sons, remember I told you she has 3 sons. Her youngest son passed away. She thought he would outlive. That was her favorite baby, my Uncle Dion. That was her baby. Honey, that was the love of her life. I honestly thought my Nana treated my uncle like a lover instead of a son. That's how enmeshed. Their relationship is deeply codependent and enmeshed. She groomed him and trained him to the point that he could not be with no women. He went through 2 marriages, and every time he ran back to mommy. But she had this plan of keeping him home with her, and he would take care of her as she would get older. She probably had planned to leave him the house, the car, and everything. And at the age of 49, my Uncle Dion passed away. I was told he died in his sleep. The good Lord took her baby away from her. And I'm not saying that to be mean or whatever, but my Nana has spent her entire life abusing her sons. Abusing and torturing, damaging. She has psychologically damaged her boys. So bad to the point that they went out and they all abused women. All 3 of them were abusive in their marriages towards their women. That's how much of a negative impact she had on her sons. And she really thought she was going to get away scot-free for not, she didn't think, she thought she was going to have this happily ever after life. Her youngest baby was going to take good care of her. God said, no, no ma'am, you're going to pay. When I heard, my uncle passed away, I said, don't play with God. Don't play with God. I know what this is. My Nana is finally getting her karma for abusing her children. And now her grandchildren, her family is all broken up. We're not together. Her sons are not together. Her grandchildren are all broken up. She's going to leave behind a terrible legacy. You cannot skate through life abusing your children and being mean-spirited, being a fucking bully. My Nana is a fucking malignant narcissist. And it's her time. She's paying. She's paying severely for what she's done. But, I say all this to say, y'all, the messy women in your family, they'll click up, honey, and have several gossip sessions and tear you the fuck down. Why? She's still going at the mouth? Why don't she just get over it? Dag, she miserable. What's her problem? See, she gonna need us one day. Bitch, let me tell you something. It'll be a cold day in hell before I fuck with my family ever again. And I said, if I'm homeless on the streets, I'll sleep in a cardboard box before I ever go the fuck back. They don't understand. I'm done. I'd have missed a couple of funerals. My grandparents and died. I didn't go to none of the funerals. I'm hoping they're getting the message now that I don't give a fuck. And I used to be the sweetest, nicest person. And I know they're all sitting back like, what happened to the girl we used to know? No, that girl is gone, honey. I'm a motherfucking warrior. I got tired of the bullying. I blacked out. I crashed out. And I will fuck a bitch up if you fucking come for me. Don't pass no messages on behalf of my mother. Don't pass no messages on behalf of my sister. They fucked up. It's done. They are dead to me. I'm waiting for my nana and my mother to perish. Bye. Okay? Because, whoever the ringleader is, and I want to talk about your family too, you got to identify the ringleader. It's usually your mother or your grandmother. Okay? The matriarch of the family is usually the ringleader. And what the ringleader has a huge impact. They're very dominant. So that's usually where the gossip, the smear campaign, it originates with the fucking ringleader. So I know for a fact my mother has spread vicious rumors about me. Since I was a little girl, will get on the phone fast and talk shit about me to other people. She's talked shit about me to total strangers in the street. Especially when I was overweight, close to 300 pounds. Honey, I was every fat bitch, fat pig, fat this, fat that. She would talk about me like she never gave birth to me. Like I was a fucking side chick that stole her man. That's how bad she used to gossip about me. So narcissists stick with other narcissists. You got to understand, abusers support abusers. That's why Donald Trump is about to take office, because it was nothing more than the sociopaths and all the abusers, male and female. They voted his ass in because abusers stick together. They don't care that he's a rapist. They don't care that he's a racist. They don't care that he's an abuser, a pedo, a fucking felon. They overlooked all his dark criminal past. They don't care if he's touched children. They don't care if he was cool with Jeffrey Epstein. They don't care if he made reference about his daughter's vagina. They don't care. They voted his ass in because narcissists and abusers stick together. So you got to look at your family the same way. If your mama and grandmama are narcissists, they're going to stick together. If your female cousins, your sister, your aunties, if they're narcissists, they're going to stick together. They will support the abuser, the ringleader. They will believe the gossip and help spread the gossip that the ringleader initiated. So I know my mother started shit about me. But more importantly, I know all the bitches that supported her and helped her spread the gossip. Yeah. Even my brother's baby mama, she's a motherfucking narcissist. I've been clocked her tea. She's dumb as fuck because she be fucking ass kissing my mother, but my mother and sister will talk about her because she's dark skinned and African. Yeah, she needs to know. My mother and sister will sit up and talk about a dark-skinned man or woman with kinky hair in a hot minute. They're colorists. Yeah, female narcissists are colorists, honey. I've been clocked my brother's baby mama. I don't fuck with her either. And I believe she's trained one of her daughters to be a narcissist too. My brother clocked it. Me and my brother didn't had this discussion. One of his daughters is not a narcissist and the other one is. And I won't, because they're children, I won't say their names. But I clocked all the tea and I see it from a mile away. I see a problem brewing and my mother and sister contributed into grooming the child into a fucking narcissist. Trash. That's why I will never fuck with them bitches again. Because they thought they was going to do it to my daughter and I kept my daughter away. You not fitting to groom my child, bitch. You groom my brother's children. You won't fuck with mine. The women in your family will click up like mean girls, honey. Abusers support abusers. Just remember that. And since I've made the announcement that my mother is still married to the man that molested me, and my mother was made aware when I was a teenage girl, and when she sliced my face open and sent me to school, this is my senior year of high school, sent me to school with an open gash on my face, and my teachers and my guidance counselors called me into the office and said, "Who did that to your face? Who did that? You're not going to leave this office until you tell us who cut your face open like that." I said, "It was my mother." They said, "Sit down, talk to us. How long has your mother been doing this to you? How long has she?" And I listen, for once, somebody was listening to me because I felt like nobody believed me. Nobody listened to me. I told them everything. I told them her husband molested me, and I told her about it. She did nothing. The nigga's locked up in prison now. It's like my mother hated my guts, and I didn't know why. I didn't understand it. So my school reported her ass, and they kept the investigation open for an entire, they was on her ass for an entire year, honey. And the only reason they closed that case is because I left for college. I was 18, I became an adult, and they closed the case. But right now, as of 2024, it's documented in Richland County in Columbia, South Carolina with the Department of Social Services. My mother and her husband, her current husband, are named in the investigation. It's documented. And it's in my school archives. So she could never fucking lie because I come with receipts. So let me tell you something. There are women in my family that support my mother, and they know all this information. They know she's married to a pedophile. They know she's fucking physically assaulted me. They know she was a terrible mother who allowed me to walk around with a disability, didn't get me help, didn't get me therapy, but yet she took part in bullying me and body shaming me and fat shaming me. And then she pulled other people in to join in the gossip and smear campaign. These are family members, messy bitches, mean girls. Oh, and one last thing. Hold up. That's why I wrote this book, to expose my mother. It's called I Can't Stand My Mother and the Other Messy Bitches in My Family. How to Shut Down Your Narcissistic Ringleader Mama and Your Two-Faced Female Relatives. I'm gonna do another video. I got a story about my female cousin. I was gonna tell it in this video. No, she came into my house and secretly took pictures of my little girls. My daughter was young at the time. She was in there snapping photos with her cell phone of dirty laundry on the floor, and she threatened to post the pictures on Facebook to shame me. That's mean girl behavior. That's narcissistic behavior. That bitch will never step foot in my house again. We will never kick it together. I don't claim her as a blood relative. She's fucking dead to me. Bitch can kick rocks and go to hell. Piece of shit, bitch. And I actually told her, post the pictures on Facebook, bitch. Because what you're going to do, you're going to expose yourself. And everybody's going to say, well, damn, if she's that dirty to take pictures of her own cousin's house, what's she going to do if I invite her in my house? Is she going to be in my house taking photos? Ain't nobody going to trust that bitch in their house, taking pictures of dirty laundry of my daughter's bedroom and threatening to humiliate me and post them on Facebook. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I don't fuck with these bitches. And then they get mad. They feel like I'm holding a grudge. No, bitch, that's your character. I don't fuck with people with poor character. You're not a good person, you mean-spirited bitch. But when I retaliate and stand on business, and I stop allowing y'all to bully me, oh, why can't she just get over it? Why can't we be a family again? Dag, she won't get over it. Dag, she holding on to the past. Fuck you, bitch. This is what causes PTSD in people. This is why people have to go to therapy, because they have fucked up family members that are bullies, narcissistic family members, mean girls, mean-spirited motherfuckers. And that's why I will vouch to the day I'm gone. I will do this work and I will help as many people as possible. Y'all cannot be scared to cut your family off. You have to, for your mental health and for your overall health altogether. You can get cancer. Your nervous system will react, and it will tell your body it's breaking down and it's sick, because you will not stop hanging with your family. Look at Tracy Braxton. Tracy Braxton died at the age of 49 from cancer. Why? Because she had a bunch of sisters that constantly bullied her on a day-to-day basis. Evil motherfucking bitches. They're mean girls. Let's talk about it in the comment section, y'all. I'm going to post another video called Stop Allowing Your Mother to Pressure You to Have a Baby. That's a whole nother topic. When a narcissistic mother has made poor choices in men, she's miserable with her current husband. She's mad that her life didn't turn out the way that it should. She will pressure her daughter to get pregnant because she wants her daughter to be fucking just as miserable as she. We don't have that conversation. I'm going to talk about it because I don't see a lot of people talking about that. If your mama's a pick-me and a narcissist and she's made up a lot of fucked up choices with her men, even her marriage, she don't want her daughter to be happy. She's not going to tell her daughter that, but she going to try to make like, I want to have a grandchild. When you going to have it? She going to press you to have a baby because she wants you to be tied down to an ain't shit ass nigga just like she's tied down. That's another video, y'all. But let's talk about this in the comment section. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. I love you guys. Spiritual Whistleblower.